All right, we are visiting with Coffee with the Authors here at RT Conference, and we have the leading lady with us, Kathryn.
Hello.
Hello. Tell us, Kathryn Falk, you have been doing RT for how many years?
Well, I started the magazine in '81, and we put on our first conference in '82, and this is actually our 25th Book Lovers Convention.
What keeps you going?
Well, I love books. When I grew up, I was a book lover, and historicals are just my favorite, but when I started the magazine, I got very involved in contemporaries, and I love writers and I love books, so that's it. I'm the supreme book lover.
But you have given so much to authors, to agents, to publishers, and to readers through your conferences. It's just absolutely amazing.
Well, it's fun to come together, and I think that's what we need, because when I started the magazine, there were no computers, there were no fax machines, and so it was necessary to come together. And I've noticed that now with the internet, people are talking even more, so it gives them a chance to see each other face to face. So it's all worked out very nicely.
And I know that RT has grown dramatically. From just the romance has gone all different directions.
Well, when I started, there were only about 35 romantic novels a month, and then Harlequin was the only contemporary, and then Silhouette started the same year I started the magazine. So now we do 250 books a month.
Wow.
And of course, we follow anything women love to read. And we think of ourselves, it's not just a romance magazine, but a women's fiction magazine. So that means we like mysteries and paranormal and inspirationals and erotica. And I think we cover about 11 genres now.
That's terrific. The other thing that I noticed that has grown is that the African American group has grown dramatically.
Yeah, actually, I think in my second or third publication, when it was a newspaper, I predicted that we would have Asian, African American, and American Indian romances. And at that time, it was just sort of a dream. Mm-hmm. And now we have Latino and all kinds of ethnic groups. Today, one of the writers was Chinese, one with a Chinese hero. Mm-hmm. So it's quite exciting, because romances have always reflected the reader. And so that's why our magazine and our genres change every year, because the readership keeps changing and growing and expanding, and that's exciting. It's not a flat kind of creativity. It's what the reader wants next.
And one of the other things that's changed is the age of our heroines and our heroes.
Oh yes, originally when they were Mills and Boone heroines, it was sort of you either a manicurist or a nanny, I think, or the big profession. Oh yes, and again, we reflect the ascendancy of women who can become presidents, CEOs, and again, it's sort of like fashion. The romances have to change every year to keep the reader interested, because I'd say the average reader sometimes reads 20 to 40 books a month.
Wow.
So you have to reflect today's culture.
I think the other thing that you have offered is an empowerment to readers of the romantic genre, because it's given legitimacy to romances, and they're changing over time, and that's something that you've given to all of us.
Well, when you can make money, then everyone thinks it's legitimate. Originally, when I tried to promote romances, the men and the media never woke up till they learned that you could make $1 million perhaps in your lifetime writing books and with romantic themes. So that sort of changed it. So now we often go into figures. We say, oh, we're 50% of paperback sales, and we have 8 authors on the New York Times list, which means they're probably millionaires, and that is what struck everyone's fantasy. I think they thought it was just a hobby. And we made it a career.
And we thank you all very much for that. And we thank you so much for the RT conference every year. It is wonderful.
Next year, Orlando.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
See you then.